Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Krahak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, and faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, great millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching His truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, a so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up related to America's financial system, and people are having hard time struggling through this shit. Oh well, it's the plagues of the Lord, man, and much more worse is coming. And oh yeah, the chip implant coming too. But anyway, I don't have no videos about that, but I will probably be talking about that in times in this video. But anyway, I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability to say whatever God say through spirit of power. We hold by Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit of Krahak Kadash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
Who's Kevin Warsh? Kevin Warsh is the guy who's coming in as a new Fed chair.
His manifesto is about yield curve control, which is direct monetization and hyperinflation. They're going to blow the hell out of the money system, which in turn affects not only gold and silver, but how hard you're going to have to bend over and take it.
As a matter of fact, Kevin Warsh is very, very much in favor of digital currencies.
Where we stand in time as far as the digital currencies, I think they're right on track.
Hey everybody, John.
And yeah, when there's digital currency, they're going to be the chip implant, the digital ID / digital wallet, the mark of the beast.
It's in a World Alternative Media here, and we're joined once again by Mark Gonzalez over at First National Bullion. And, you know, we've talked about Kevin Warsh quite a few times before. Who's Kevin Warsh? Kevin Warsh is a guy who's coming in as a new Fed chair. As we know, he's all over the news now, but Mark and I were some of the first people to ever really talk about him online. And of course, this is a Bilderberger, this is a G20, G30 guy. This is a guy who claims he's coming in with this new manifesto, this mandate to change everything up, as he calls it, regime change at the Federal Reserve. Complete nonsense, of course, and this involves his push to steepen the yield curve by putting upward pressure on the long end, 10-year, 30-year treasuries. This all matters a lot because what he's actually going to do is important here and has a lot of context as far as how your money is going to work for you later. With this, of course, they've manipulated his Wikipedia page recently, so I've had to actually go back and look at my own articles for some of the sourcing on what I've talked about with Kevin Warsh in the past. Of course, this is a guy who has been deep within the establishment of the economy for quite some time. Going back to 2002, under George Bush as an advisor to George Bush's Treasury and economic policy, and also has been with the Federal Reserve Board of Governors since 2006. This is a guy who's going to change things. If any change is going to happen, it's going to be the same stuff that Mark and I have been warning about for so long, with the push towards a digital cashless society and, of course, that New World Order. It's not something that's going to be in anyone's favor, and I hate to be that guy. As always, I'm always going to be that guy because, of course, it's reality. We got to tell the truth here. We need to break down exactly what is going to happen with this Kevin Warsh Fed chairmanship and how it's going to affect your money going forward. What is his actual plan? Is he going to be changing how they dictate inflation? A lot of interesting questions. He claims he wants to run it like Alan Greenspan. Alan Greenspan, of course, as a Fed chair, was a guy back in the 1960s. He was pro-free market, anti-central bank. And then when he got into office as the Fed chair, became a horrible central banker, the same typical kind of economist that you expect from the Keynesians out there. We're going to go into all this and more and what this all means for you and your bank account. People will say, oh, that's boring. It matters. At first, they're waiting for a free consultation with elite industries in the entire world.
It'll never happen, for sure. The business model of banking, or the business model in general, and the path that we're headed down, it's not intended to change. It's not something that we can change. It's not something that your vote is going to change. If votes actually mattered, then we wouldn't be allowed to do it. We're under control. So let's get into the regime change, because he's already flipped it. He's already changed his tune. And we talked about this. We've talked about this for quite some time, actually, months and months and months ago. So his manifesto of regime change, in there, it clearly states that he is a proponent, or would like to be able to control the long end of the curve. Okay, so it's not just essentially price stability and full employment. Now we got yield curve. Mm-hmm. And what that was, the video we talked about, was yield curve control, meaning that, let's say that the Federal Reserve sets rates at, their target is 2%, but let's say they set them officially at 2%, but rates climb to 4% because there's no bid in the bond market, in the treasury market. Then yield curve control, which was implemented in World War II, it's an emergency measure, but here we are in this point in time, that if you have a difference between 4% and 2%, what is the delta that needs to be bought? What's the shortfall of sale of our debt because no one wants it, to actually get that yield from 4 back down to 2. It's direct monetization. That's what happened to Zimbabwe. So that is something that he actually put into pen and backed adamantly. And now we're talking about, okay, we're going to go to the Greenspan era and, just kind of let the market do what it has to do. We're not going to raise rates because it's not inflation. It's actually technological advancement, or the manufacturing sector is what's growing, and that offsets the inflation. Not necessarily true. That's a nice, pretty story. But if you look back at Greenspan kept rates marginally comfortable for a long time. But I had a mortgage company, and sure enough, when he started raising them, I believe it was around 2003, 2004. It shocked the hell out of it. And in fact, that was one of the precursors of what happened for 2008. 2008 would have ultimately happened because you would have had either a collapse over systemic risk, or you would have had a rug pull.
Yeah, but this guy, he worked under Bernanke, he worked under Yellen, he worked under Powell. I mean, he's literally one of the guys who advised all the policies that have destroyed the economy over the last 20 years.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it's blatant that this guy is going to continue the status quo. I don't see any reason to believe otherwise.
Yeah, so it's all word speak, and looking at some of the articles that's been coming out and watching some of the videos, it's actually a cautionary tale at this point in time. So he obviously thinks that long end of the curve is something to be managed. He's just not speaking about it because it's not popular. But that is on the table for sure. Now we're looking at, with no clarity of guidance of what's happening, the price point application or matrix of what we compile inflation under. That is another thing, because, okay, you figure AI trades, high frequency trading, brokerages. I mean, most of the people in the know and the power, they're on the right side of the trade pretty much all the time. But they look at these numbers because the numbers don't matter in a real life situation. When you're going to the grocery store, what the hell the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the CPI or PPI is, what the real world is. But on the trading aspect, it does matter. So we're going to keep interest rates at bay. We're not going to give any clarity or future guidance, is what he's saying. And we're also going to find a way to recalculate in today's modern time the inflation rate. Now, the last time that happened was in 1995 with Michael Boskin under the Clinton administration, and you could see what damage that did. In the 4 components of inflation currently, we'll see what happens is you got subtraction. If it's no longer convenient, shit can it. You got substitution. Easy way to kind of explain that is if you're used to filet mignon and lobster, it's going to fish, chicken, hot dogs, but it's a push, right? And then you got weighting. Do we give more or less weight to this sector?
Anyway, if you want to watch the rest of this video, be my guest. They got a title of it. I don't know what they were going to be talking about, but they talked a lot about stuff, and it's like, now I lost interest in it. But it's talking about the crash of the currency and the economy in America, and better keep your eyes open for it. If you want to watch the rest of the video, they go to title, they go to channel. Let's move on to the next video. From the when it comes to that crash for the economy, the banks, and all that shit, they're gonna be bringing out the digital ID, or first the digital wallet, the digital cash with the digital wallet, digital ID shit, and that's gonna be that chip implant, the mark of the beast.
#1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum.
And if you don't believe the mark of the beast is the chip implant, I don't give a fuck, nigga.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Forgive me, I ran out of time yesterday and wasn't able to upload a video on this channel. I got 2 on the Here's the Deal channel and 1 on the High Impact Vlogs channel. I will leave those links in the description if you want to check it out. Now, people are generally, and I'm talking about people of any country, they're genuinely and generally very trusting. They are honest, and they expect other people to be genuine and honest. So when somebody like Scott Bessent comes along and says there will be no central bank digital currency, don't worry about it, and then he offers his audience words of kindness and comfort, don't believe him. When I listen to things like this, and I'm going to play this for you in a second, I always think of read my lips, no new taxes, or don't worry, there's not going to be any wars. I'm not a wartime president. And then they start wars. They increase taxation. They increase the national debt. They devalue and diminish the value of the dollar that we work for every single day. Prices go up, quality goes down, inefficiencies increase, the military industrial complex is fed, the prison industrial complex grows. And
they're Edomites, man. And I don't know about this guy, but you should know your people best, man. Shit, they're forgers of lies. They're forgers of lies. Let's get that once I pull it up. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are physicians. What I'm saying this part for, done. What's wrong with me? I just woke up. Feel like I just woke up. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Yeah, y'all liars, and y'all ain't worth a damn. Yeah, Edomites.
Psychopathic bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. get more powerful as
That's all they do is lie, 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 lie. Anytime so-called white man or so-called Jewish baby dick sucker open up their mouth, you already know there's a lie coming out. So get ready for it. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Hold on to your seats. Or hold on to your side, hold on your old shit handle. You know when you in your car, you got that thing up above. Hold on to that shit, cause this nigga lie gonna blow your ass away. Hell yeah.
we enter the poorhouse and the middle class disappears. So says Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says there will be no central bank digital currency, adding the most important thing we can do is to make digital assets come into the United States. Listen to this. Tell me if you believe one word he's saying.
So this administration has been very clear. There will be no central bank digital currency, which I think would be the first step toward tracking. So we have taken that off the table. We passed.
Don't believe it for a second. Don't believe that they have taken monetary and digital tracking off the table as it pertains to resources that you are going to use to buy and sell.
Stablecoin legislation was bipartisan, and the Clarity Act is now up on the hill.
I'm like, CBDC, we know what CBDC is about. It's about tracking what you're buying. But what about Trump talking about we need a Visa tracking system? And that's the mark of the beast they're referring to. Shit. And this nigga here talking about we ain't gonna have CBDC. When was this? 2 out? Oh, hold on. No. This was probably recent, because this is like 2 days ago, so this video gotta be recent. And I remember he said something about this some time ago, like maybe last year. Yeah. Yeah, like last year. But I know damn well. Come on, bro. You know damn well there ain't gonna be no. Anyway. I fucking hate this world.
I think it has bipartisan support, and the most important thing we can do is to make digital assets come into the United States, make the U.S. the home. Our regulation, our best practices are what will ensure good standards for these. When you look at digital assets, all the nonsense that happens, all the things you read about, that's because it's the wild, wild west offshore, so we got to bring it on shore. So I would encourage the House and the Senate to get clarity done.
So he's talking about the Clarity Act, and there's also the Genius Act. Now, basically, what he was doing is blowing smoke, BS, and semantics. So he's basically saying there's not going to be a central bank digital currency, which is really central bank digital control, because if there is a central bank digital currency that replaces cash, then those digital units you have can be tracked, they can be traced, you can be surveilled. How much do you have? Where do you have it? When do you spend it? Where do you spend it? Who do you spend it with? It's a 100% surveillance coin. And that's the same with any digital asset that the government has its hands in and its control on. Don't believe it for 1 second. And let me just show you this right here. This was kind of interesting. Tom Elliott says, "Hello, Grok. Can you explain to me, like I'm a caveman retard, why critics say the Genius Act could be used as a backdoor for CBDC?" And this is short and succinct and quite informative. Says Caveman Simple. Critics say Genius Act lets banks under tight federal government watch issue private stable coins, basically digital USD you can send fast. These are one-to-one backed by real dollars, regulated heavy, so government can see and track every transaction easy through the banks. It's like the CBDC, the government digital dollar, with full surveillance and control, but run by private banks instead of the Fed directly. By the way, the Fed, Grok, is a private institution. It's a private bank. Even Alan Greenspan said that when he was asked what should the relationship be between a Federal Reserve Chairman and a President of the United States. He was like, basically, the relationship doesn't matter. As long as the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch do exactly what we say, everything is copacetic. We are a private entity, not a government entity. Same end result, different label. Says that's the backdoor worry, private rails that act like government money. And this guy asked another good question. Hey, Grok, has the government ever used private entities to bypass civil liberties? And Grok says yes. Historical examples include the NASA's PRISM program and telecom partnerships, Snowden leaks for bulk data collection without individual warrants, plus documented government requests to social media firms for content moderation and account deplatforming, Twitter files, congressional hearings. These often rely on private entities' cooperation to skirt direct constitutional limits. So don't believe one word the Treasury Secretary is saying right here, because every time they open their mouth, you know they're lying to you.
That's like I said. I go for pretty much majority of Edom. Amalek. Yeah.
And speaking of lying, did you see the Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsbreath, released another post over on X? He says, thanks to President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion military investment, our troops will receive the largest pay raise in modern history, which means if you disagree with this,
What?
over on X, he says, thanks to President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion military.
Oh, they still pushing this shit? America first equals troops first. Nigga, please. And we already heard all the stories. These motherfuckers, even if these troops' family members, they gotta apply for fucking welfare or benefits, you know, and they can't even get it because they say they're making too much money.
Military investment, our troops will receive the largest pay raise in modern history, which means
Shit, that's a lie right there.
if you disagree with this, that makes you a knucklehead in the eyes of patriots if you don't want our military men and women to get the largest pay increase in American history. Watch this propaganda piece.
The United States has the greatest military the world has ever known. But not just because we have
And it is so divided.
the best jets, the best ships, and the best weapon systems.
And then all them best ships and jets and shit getting shot down or blown up by the adversaries, by little Iran.
But because our greatest asset is the American warfighter.
The motherfuckers shooting them down with little rocket launchers and shit. Heck yeah, with the fighter jets. They fly too low, guess what? Your ass is through. You gonna get blown out the door.
You know, they don't even believe that. They believe more along the lines with what Kissinger is reported as saying.
Oh yeah. Just sit in. The soldiers are dumbasses, pretty much. They work, they dumb, stupid. They just stupid and dumb.
Military men, he said, are dumb, stupid animals made to be used as pawns for foreign policy. And that's what they're doing. Pete Kegsbreath, and Donald J., father of the vaccine Trump, and every administration, including Obama, including Biden, including the Bushes, all work for the banking cartel. And they don't care about military men.
I mean, the scriptures even say so. Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry, a man of war that suffereth poverty. This video is going to somewhere else. It was supposed to go into like CBDCs, but now he going into some other talk. So the rest of the video talk about the troops and the military. So I'm gonna stop it right here. But it's so true. They look at you as cattle, dumb animals. It's a damn shame. Even their own people. And won't y'all realize, instead of looking at the Israelites as being fucking animals and rapists, look at your own people. Damn, you crackers over. Trip me up, bro. You trip me up. Anyway, let's get to the next video. Because I don't want to play this anymore because they're talking about war now. Soldiers and such. And I'm supposed to be talking about CBDCs and the financial system and such.
1 in 4 older
People struggling through the financial hardships.
adults have difficulty seeing, even with glasses. Jitterbug can help.
Americans are truly struggling. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say there's an affordability problem here in the United States. But we know 53% of Americans are using credit cards just to survive. And more people are living paycheck to paycheck, even those that make over $100,000 per year. Well, today we're going to talk about some of the issues we're facing, but at the end of this video, you need to stick around because I'm going to show you 3 ways people are saving money, and you can do every single one of these things. And I'm also going to give you some of my own personal tips that work, that will actually save you money. So make sure you watch the end of this video as well. Let's get right down to it. It says 53% of Americans carry credit card balances to cover essential living expenses. Think about this for a second. You are using a credit card in order to pay for food. You're using a credit card at a 22 to 26% interest rate to pay for your electricity bill. You're using that same credit card to pay for things like water, even garbage. Some people are using that credit card to pay for a Netflix subscription, a Hulu subscription, a Disney Plus subscription, a HBO subscription, and so much more. That credit card is your lifeline. But the problem that we're facing right now, and something I brought up several times before, is that some of these issuers, these credit card companies, they are going to lower your total amount that you can spend, your total balance. They're going to lower that. Your available debt, your credit, they are going to lower that because we are in a time of very high risk when it comes to credit. So I don't want you to get stuck that the one lifeline you have, you can't use anymore, because that's what we're seeing. But look at this right here. It says households earning $300,000 to $500,000 live paycheck to paycheck, more than those making $50,000 to $100,000. You know what is tough for those that are making $300,000 to $500,000 per year compared to those that are making $50,000 to $100,000? Those that are making $50,000 to $100,000, they're probably not worried about their image. They're probably not worried about Jane and John Smith down the street are driving and they have to compete. No. They're just worried that their kids are going to school, they have clothes, they have food, and they can make it to work. That's it. Those are their concerns. Whereas those that are making more money are worried about, well, I need to continue to pay for my membership at the country club. I need to make sure I still have my gym membership that I may not even go to once a week, but I need to be able to say I'm a member of that gym as well. And some go out for coffee and go eating out and go out for drinks on Friday or Saturday night. They have to live up to that image. That's part of the problem, okay? But paycheck to paycheck is a concern. But here's the thing, okay? I want to show you something. It says this is how close American households are to the financial edge, okay? This just came out the other day. I want to read this to you. It says affordability has been a politically potent word, but an ill-defined measure of financial pain often used as a reference to inflated prices. New research from Brookings Institute describes affordability by comparing the rising cost of essentials against family incomes. By that measure, the report found in 2024, 45.5% of U.S. households did not earn enough to cover their necessities.
And yo, all this gonna lead to that chip implant.
This isn't a cost of living crisis.
When they creating a scenario, it's gonna be hard for you people, you everyday Babylonians, and people from other countries around the world. It's gonna be hard for you to survive without the right, correct funds. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. They're gonna lead y'all to getting them chip implants because Esau gonna advertise that shit as like it's the way of the future and it's a way to get you out of poverty and a way to you know, this stuff and that stuff. Yeah. Shit. At least say she get an evangelist for we're not ignorant of his devices. And I'm telling you, you get straight to the point. I tell you that don't take that shit. Seek the Lord. And I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you specklebirds that's feeling this. Seek Yahweh Shema Shah, repent and pray like heaven the Lord don't have you giving in to this shit.
This is an affordability issue. This is a wage gap where we are seeing the gap between wages and the gap between your actual living expenses. This is starting to widen, where your wages have stayed fairly flat, but yet the cost of everything due to inflation keeps going up. Whether it's due to tariffs, it's due to this conflict over in the Middle East, doesn't matter. Your wages are here, and then the costs are here. That's a concern, and we need to figure out a way to actually lower that gap, make it closer, or where your income exceeds your expenses. And for many people, that's the concern. They don't know how to get there. I want to keep reading this. It says the report concluded that a mere $1,000 hike in the annual cost of living would leave another 3 million households unable to make ends meet. It goes on to say that precarity is partly due to the gap between inflation and wages. In 2024, national wages saw a small 1.3% bump, well below the rate of inflation at 2.9% that year. Yeah, it's not that we are spending too much money, it's we are spending too much money compared to the amount of money we're bringing in because our wages haven't kept up with inflation. That's the issue. I want to show you something though. It says right here.
And I wonder he gonna come up with a solution of how to be able to fight against the inflation. Well, let's see what he's gonna say if he ever gonna have a video related on how to fight against hyperinflation, because that's gonna be that's gonna be it right there. When hyperinflation kick in, that's it. It's a wrap. There ain't nothing you can do about it. There ain't nothing you can do about it now. And for some people, the only way they can resort to the dealing with the hyperinflation is going in and taking shit from grocery stores, retail stores, even out of people's houses, because it's going down. And if there ain't nothing to steal, guess what? And I'm talking about food, because that's what everybody needs, food. But if there ain't no food at the store or anybody at home to take, then guess what? They gonna be looking at themselves as foods. They can eat a piece of their finger or their arm or their leg or their toe. Or they chilling, or they loved ones. They gonna be looking like, or either you, or just a stranger just minding their own business trying to survive. Got their head on a swivel, and you got this motherfucker looking at you like you turkey slices. Yeah, you like, ooh, you look like some turkey slice. I can turn you into something. Anyway, it's coming. It's going, man. It's happening. I ain't saying this now, but it's gonna be happening.
Americans are falling behind on their $1.25 trillion credit card bill. We are using credit cards in order to afford our lives, to pay for food, to pay for utilities, to pay for everything, right? Our rent, our car insurance, our medical bills. We're using credit cards to pay for this stuff, to fund our lives just in the meantime until things get better.
Yeah, Hagar chapter 1, verse 6, ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag of holes. If that don't make any sense, I'll just break it down to you. You work so hard for very little money. You don't have enough money for food. You don't have enough money for water to drink or to bathe your butt with. You ain't got enough money for new clothes to replace the old clothes that been torn, got holes in it. Only thing you can probably do if you got enough money is buy patches and a sewing kit to sew that up, if you got money to fix your old clothes. But anyway, you definitely ain't got enough money to save. And all it's doing is just, if you think you saving money, nope, you spending it. That's all you doing, spending it, because everything's so expensive. You ain't spending it on worthless stuff like things that's for entertainment. But you spending money on a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of money on basic necessities that 10 years ago was no big deal about, the water bill and the electric bill. Now shit, you damn near paying a mortgage. You paying a mortgage for your electric bill or a car note with your electric bill. Yeah, this ain't your rest for you Israelites. Better seek the Lord. It's going to get worse. It's just the beginning of it.
Until this conflict in the Middle East is resolved, until tariff prices are already put in place and we don't have to worry about increases. Right? That's what we're hearing. But here's the interesting thing. There are a lot of people right now that are living in homes that they purchased and then they were told that, don't worry, prices are going to come down. Don't worry about the interest rate, because soon you'll be able to refinance. Well, here's the problem. Americans are struggling just to survive. Struggling. Absolutely struggling. I want to read a few more facts to you. Listen to this, okay? 87% of people believe we're in a full cost of living crisis. 87%. What we know is that the top 1% of earners are making the majority of purchases here inside the economy. They're buying the new houses, they're buying the new cars, they're buying clothes, they're buying furniture, buying the electronics. They're buying it all. The lower income earners are saving money. They're stocking it away. They do not want to spend money if they can avoid it. They're doing everything that they possibly can to just save. They're not investing for retirement. They're not investing for the future. They're not investing into a business. They're just saving that money. And so what we're seeing is a K-shaped economy where the lower income earners and the middle income, or the lower to middle income, are on that bottom part of the K-shaped economy, where it was kind of going up, now everything's too expensive, and they're on their way down. Where the higher income earners, they invested into real estate, into businesses, into stocks, and well, they did see that inflation went up, but it's not a big deal because inflation goes up. Guess what? All their assets become more valuable.
I am so in love with my new Bonus Spray Mop Air. It's a lightweight all-in-one tool designed for effective and convenient floor cleaning, and its compact design makes it easy to maneuver and reach.
That's what we're seeing today.
I'm gonna stop right there. Let's get to the next video.
I think people should stop paying their credit cards. I know no one else agrees with me. And you have a moral obligation. Really, we have a moral obligation not to send credit card applications to kids in college. So this goes both ways.
So Tucker made a big pronouncement about don't pay your credit cards. And I want to give you a little background. As of Q1 2026, that's the first quarter of 2026, total U.S. credit card debt stands at $1.25 trillion.
Now, if Tucker Carlson telling you not to pay your credit card, you know there's something. That's something, yeah, and he a devil. You can't believe this nigga too, because he try to play dumb and shit a lot of times. I can't stand that motherfucker. But there gotta be something. But it's gonna ultimately, nobody can't pay their damn bills hardly. Shit, and they damn sure ain't gonna want to do it. And they damn sure ain't gonna want to pay their taxes either. And it's coming down to that point. Yep. And that chip implant gonna be next. What is this? Alright. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. I can pay it.
Remember the difference between $1 million and $1 billion is roughly $1 billion. The difference between $1 billion and $1 trillion is roughly $1 trillion. Keep that in mind.
I can work extra hours.
Total U.S. household debt is now at $18.8 trillion, with credit cards making up a notable but not the largest portion. Mortgages are the biggest with $13 trillion. Okay. Credit card debt hit all-time nominal highs in late 2025 amid the high interest rates. Interest rates were 21 to 22% for cards that accrued interest. Delinquencies have risen. 13.1% of credit card balances were 90-plus days past due in the first quarter of 2026. That's the highest since 2011. Signaling strain for some households, you think? Is that what it signals? As of early 2026, the average U.S. household carries roughly $9,000 to $11,500 in credit card debt. Credit card debt hit a record high. We already said that. Averages have risen over time due to inflation, spending habits, and high interest rates. Mostly high interest rates. They charge 22% on a credit.
22%?
You know what a bank pays on interest for the money they borrow from the Fed? Like nothing. Why is it when if you get a loan for your house, it's at 6%, which is still crazy. But a credit card, they get to charge you 22%. That is called evil, usury.
Yeah. You go buy stuff and they try to make off it.
Yeah, usury. Let me get to that. I forgot where did I go to get to it. Dang, I forgot where did I go to get to it. Nope, this ain't it. Well, I'll read this one. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a subject to the lender. Yeah. And they add freaking interest for what you... Oh, here you go. Damn, Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 25. If thou lend money to any of my people... That, and this is about you Israelites. You don't supposed to be adding no interest and all that, but Esau is totally different. That's a nigga right there for you. Let me start over. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a usurer, neither shalt thou lend upon him usury. Yeah, they making. I mean, of course you gonna profit, but fuck that shit. If somebody gonna take a loan from you and they say they gonna pay you back, why add more to it? Why add more to it? That's some bullshit. So you can make a profit of it. They gonna give you the money back, hopefully, because some of these niggas don't want to pay you back for shit, and then you gotta hunt these motherfuckers down. Where my fucking money at? You like you're a monster and you wanna have to break a damn bone off these No, I'm just joking. But you won't feel like doing it. You feel, especially with a family member, that hurts you more when it's somebody closer to your ass. A low down sunk of shit. And speaking of that, man, I gotta go to some dinner crap or some place or some restaurant, and I don't want to see these motherfuckers. It's about my niece having I guess something to do with her graduation of high school, and my sister having. I can't stand that bitch. I don't want to see all these fake ass people, man. But. And what reason why I'm going? Because my mother. You do it for your mom. Like, man, I don't even want to bother with your ass either. Shit. I don't even want to bother with your ass. But I'll just go ahead and go keep the peace. You know. Because you know how people, if just because you don't do what they want you to do, they gonna hold a grudge against you and shit. I can't fucking stand that shit. That's why I can't wait for this shit to come to an end. These motherfuckers, just because they can't get their way, they gotta do it. Anyway. Shit.
To a store card.
That's where I want to go to that fucking place with being around these damn people.
That's where you're gonna get your 22% credit card, right?
I'd rather just be at home by myself, doing the work of your Yahweh Shema shop. That's it.
So look at this. I love this. Is by the way, this is information from Grok. It says the averages have risen over time due to spending habits, high interest rates, though inflation-adjusted figures remain below 2007-8 peaks. You know what 2008 was? When the entire economy crashed. Delinquencies are also elevated, indicating financial pressure for some households.
Wait, it's in some analyses.
Yeah,
it's below that.
In some, but in others, it's not.
Yeah, in others, it's not bad.
So the interest on credit card debt could basically solve every major social problem in the country.
I'll bet if they just put one banker in a wood chipper, a lot of them would fall in line. They seem like total pussies when they're not, in charge of shit with their money.
So these people get money for free from the government. They lend it to you and crush you under 22% interest.
Yo, Kevin O'Leary.
And that's a job. That's someone's job.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If Trump did the right thing and tried Kevin O'Leary, just for his face that I don't like, never mind all the evil shit he's up to, just for his face, put him in a wood chipper. I bet all the American billionaires would get in line pretty quick. I bet you they would.
But Jimmy, are you saying you're willing to put all those hardworking credit card company executives out of a job? Hey, if I could play a guitar, I'd sing it.
It's weird because AI seems like it could do their job.
Yeah. the latest, credit card delinquencies remain elevated. Key delinquency metrics for credit cards, 90 plus days past due. I already told you this. Delinquencies have risen significantly since 2022 due to high interest rates. The post-pandemic normalization, subprime borrowers and lower income households drive much of the increase, meaning they're the ones paying the highest interest rate. So there's a tax to being poor, because rich people don't pay those high interest rates.
Right.
Poor people do. That's a tax to be poor. That's the upward transfer of wealth in capitalism.
But you want to go pay $28 for lunch on your lunch break. Did you see Mr. Wonderful talking about how what idiots people have to spend $28 on lunch?
Yes, I did see that.
That's not even a great lunch, by the way, just to be clear.
So, what they...
Damn, I just realized how fast this shit was moving. I thought I had it at this speed. Hell no. Yeah, that's right, because the last video I had it at 1.4. I just realized, damn, I got it on too fast. If you want to watch the video at a normal speed, here go the title or there go the channel. I'm going to let this keep playing, but I'm going to drop the speed down. I just realized that.
So the elites, they create hardships for everyone, and then they complain when you can't pay the overpriced bill. And it
oh, that remind me. Well, he had a video talking about Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos like, yeah, we need to do something to help out the blue collar workers, the regular folks. We gotta do something about it. Why he's saying this shit? Why all of us ain't saying this shit? Probably because somebody reached out and touched his ass, did something to him. Well, I mean, not like that. But I mean, talking about threatening him, or he see it coming. He was like, yo, these people know, and some of them folk know where these bunkers are at. Oh yeah, especially the ones who worked on the damn bunkers. They probably know where that shit located at. So they like, we need to look out for the regular people before they go and do a sedition on our ass, hunt us down. Yeah, because it's going down. It's going to happen. From you governors, mayors, presidents, prime ministers, to you tech oligarchs, you Jeff Bezos, and you fucking Bill Gates, and Sam Altons, and you Larry Elliots, and you all you faggots. Shit. You people coming for your ass, and they gonna be for some blood, bro. They gonna wanna kill your ass.
It's like a certain
I don't give a shit.
Jewish carpenter left a few tables unturned. Remember, lift with your legs. Rates vary widely by credit score. Subprime borrowers can face even 30% interest rates. 30%.
Damn.
Banks have significant pricing power in this market, allowing them to maintain wide spreads. Studies show credit card lending remains highly profitable. Of course, they're charging 30% to the poorest people in the world, the people who actually need credit.
Yep. And guess what? With all this debt that people gonna have and they can't pay, guess what? Esau gonna be like, well, let's come with this solution. How about we make a deal? I'll wipe all your debt away, and you take this chip implant, the mark of the beast, and I'll wipe all your debt away. Shit, you still gonna be in debt big time with that nigga when you take the chip. So he gonna do whatever he wanna do to your ass once you take that damn chip. And then your ass gonna take a dip in that lake of fire, burning with brimstone with them nuclear warheads come and blast your ass. Donkey Kong you upside your head. Anyway, yeah, man. That's what it's all leading to, the chip implant, the mark of the beast. Let's get to the next video.
Can somebody please help me understand? How in the world did we get to where we are right now? I spent in 3 days a total of $200 in fuel. $200. That is just insane. It's insane. I mean,
yeah, you see, she work at the gas station. I guess 7-6.
I'm basically working to pay for fuel and bills. That is it. I mean,
soon you won't be able to pay for anything. Hey, let's go back to Hagar chapter. Let me go ahead and get it again. Hagar chapter 1 verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is no warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. And another thing I should have read. Let me go and get that too. Because you gotta get, hey, all this is happening because of wicked rulers ruling the world. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the righteous ruling, nobody ain't gonna be suffering. Only with Esau and some of the heathens. I mean, well, there ain't gonna be no suffering. Or they just say it won't be no suffering for you Israelites. Fuck the heathens. It just be no suffering for you Israelites. That's for sure. But we being ruled by heathens, so there will be suffering. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn, and she's mourning. I don't know if she. I don't know who she could be. Elam. She could be Northern Kingdom. I don't know. It like it matters. She's suffering. Anyway, all that. Hey man, seek the Lord, repent, try to do the best you can do. She work at a liquor store. A liquor store and a daggone, I don't know. Yeah, she probably work at a liquor store and a gas station. Damn. Or is a gas station selling liquor? Probably.
If I don't put fuel, I can't get to work. And if I don't work, I don't have money. But I mean, who in the world is going to be able to afford? I mean, honestly, we're not living. We are not living right now. We are surviving. I mean, we are in survival mode right now with the way everything is. I mean, that's $200 that I had to take away from maybe groceries or I don't know. It's insane. I mean, somebody please help me understand.
Well, man, the best way is a prophet. Listen to a prophet of Yahweh Shema Shah, and they tell you that, hey, the only thing you can do is seek the Lord and repent. Cause it's gonna get worse. You won't be able to afford gas, and you won't be able to go to work. There won't be no need to, cause it will cost. You're gonna have to pay to go to work.
How did we get to this?
The wicked. Shit, I don't know.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Everything is getting so expensive so quickly, and things that we used to take for granted, the ability to be able to go and buy groceries, whatever we pretty much want, being able to afford rent, being able to afford gas, these things are just going up so much. It's breaking everybody's budget, and people are really starting to think that maybe there's something wrong with them, that maybe, they're not working hard enough, that they're not doing a good enough job to save. But in reality, it's
Yahweh Shema Shah plaguing them pockets. Yeah, they bringing them plagues to all you people, especially here in America, Babylon the Great.
That's crumbling right now because everything is going up and we cannot simply keep up anymore with our wages.
How are you making it on one income? I am a 45-year-old mom who got the degree, got the job, got the steady paycheck. My husband finally, for the first time in all of our years of marriage, has a steady job, a steady paycheck, but we still weren't making ends meet. How are you doing it? How are you doing it without a side hustle? Because I legit want to know. Gas, groceries, insurance, utilities, everything is up. How are you doing it and doing anything extra without bringing in an extra income? Unless you have some six-figure high-paying job. As a normal family, how are you making ends meet? Tell me, how are you making it on one income? I am a 45-year-old mom who got the degree, got the job, got the steady paycheck. My husband finally, for the first time in all of our years of marriage, has a steady job, a steady paycheck, but we still weren't making ends meet. How are you doing it? How are you doing it without a side hustle? Because I legit want to know. Gas, groceries, insurance, utilities, everything is up. How are you doing it and doing anything extra without bringing in an extra income? Unless you have some six-figure high-paying job. As a normal family, how are you making ends meet?
It's hard to explain this to a parent, but I just got a FaceTime with my dad, and I was trying to express to him that I'm happy and healthy and very blessed. But that doesn't mean I'm not extremely worried and confused about what the future holds. And I feel like these are obviously normal growing pains, but mine aren't growing pains because of things I'm going through. Mine are growing pains because of the literal circumstances of the society that we live in. And it just feels like, what are we working towards a lot of the times, or pretty much all the time these days, with AI and the dating situation where there are no men out there for any women. So families are not going to be I don't know, I won't get into all that, but it just feels like nothing right now, the way that our parents grew up and they had this future planned for them as long as they took those steps. Obviously we just don't have that anymore. And I don't know, sometimes I get on FaceTime and I was like, should I hold back a little? Should I have just said, oh, I'm good? it's hard to explain this to a parent, but like I just got a FaceTime with my dad and I was trying to express to him that like I'm happy and healthy and very blessed, but that doesn't mean I'm not extremely worried and confused about what the future holds. And I feel like these are obviously normal like growing pains, but mine aren't growing pains because of like things I'm going through. Mine are growing pains because of the literal circumstances of the society that we live in. And it just feels like, what are we working towards a lot of the times, or pretty much all the time these days, with like AI and, you know, the dating situation where like there are no men out there for any women. So like families are not going to be like, I don't know, I won't get into all that, but like it just feels like nothing right now, like the way that our parents grew up and they had this like, you know, future planned for them as long as they took those steps. Like obviously we just don't have that anymore. And I don't know, sometimes I get off FaceTime and I was like, should I hold back a little? Should I have just said, oh, I'm good?
So I just feel like with the price of everything right now, especially the rent prices, I was just looking at this post of a guy who was paying $900. No, I think he was paying like $800 or $900 for a one bedroom in 2019. And that same one bedroom apartment is now $1,700. And I just think that's ridiculous. And I'm trying to figure out what is the end goal here, especially with AI. What is the end goal? Are things just going to keep increasing till people cannot afford anything? Is it going to be time for some sort of uprising, some sort of fight against this? I don't know. Just interesting.
Have you been grocery shopping lately? Have you gone to Walmart lately? Walmart is just joining the gangbang, and their prices are exorbitant. And they practice all of the things, the tricks against we the people that everybody else is doing. Small packages, less for the same, if not more. I don't shop Walmart, and I'm not going to tell you not to shop Walmart. That's up to you. We've got to knuckle down. We've got to stop buying the shit, grow our own food, indoors and outdoors. I'm going to get back into hydroponics. It's a challenge.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to get into some stuff that's to save a buck. Hey, I can tell you, seek the Lord. You can do all that stuff, man. Growing gardens and all that, but all hell gonna be breaking loose soon to come, and that garden and shit ain't gonna save you through that shit, man. You gonna have to leave that shit behind when it gets real dangerous. I mean, I don't want to be a bucket of bad news, but fuck it, I don't give a damn. Here's the next video. Let's get to the last one. Was it the Hopeful Lake 3? I read this.
So who all likes being fucked with no protection? Start of the week, gas was $3.99. Still dealing with it, whatever. Gas jumped up to $4.27. Okay. All right. Yesterday, while I was at work, gas jumps up to $4.99. Damn near, that's $5. So you're taxing us on the money we're making. You're taxing us on the food that we're buying. How in the fuck do you think we're going to survive? Like, there is no such thing as middle and low income anymore. I have a damn good job. And I'm barely getting by. That's with me working 80 hours a week. Like, what is the plan here? What are we going to do? They keep saying it's going to get worse before it gets better. Well, it just keeps getting fucking worse. Do better.
So I'm just wondering, like, how are y'all doing? How is everyone doing? Because I am making significantly more than what I usually make. I'm contracted on a roll right now, and I should be comfortable, like, financially, but I'm not. I'm not at all. I don't even really know how I'm going to pay for gas for the rest of the week. And I just feel like this should not be an issue. Like, it really has never been an issue for me. And I live by myself and I'm used to paying bills by myself, and I don't have kids that I need to pay for. Like, thank God. But like, what are you guys doing who have kids who like, I mean, a lot of you probably have another person like that you're splitting stuff with, so that probably makes it easier. But I know not all the mamas work out there. So it's like, how are we doing? And then for the single people, God forbid, that make way less than me, like, how are you doing? How are you doing? This is scary, you guys. I'm scared.
What is happening? I've never been so broke in my entire life. And I don't know if this is going to make sense to anybody, but money is weird right now. I'm not broke right now because groceries are expensive, because I can't even afford groceries. I'm basically becoming a breatharian, not by choice, but because I can't afford to eat. I've never been so close to losing everything. I have $1 in the bank and $10 in cash, and I get paid a week from Friday. My gas tank is on empty. I don't know where the money's going. I don't know where the money's going. And, you know, I know that I'm not alone. I know that this is not just me. Like, we're all struggling financially. But I legit might need a roommate very soon. I'm a month behind on my mortgage consistently. Like, I'm making a payment once a month, but it's a fucking month behind and I can't get ahead. I don't have extra money to save. I've never been in this situation. It's never been this bad. And I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to sell my feet. I don't care. If there's any takers, let me know.
Anybody else feel like they're just working to pay future bills? Like, I feel like every time I get paid, I know about the bill that's due next. So I'm like, okay, well, that's going towards this is going towards that. And then by the time I disperse everything, I only have like a little bit for myself. And literally like 4 years ago, I'm telling you, I had a job where I only made $16 an hour. And I was still able to pay my bills, go on vacation, and have a fucking savings. And this was only 4 years ago.
All right, guys. How fucking poor do we have to get before we start robbing these motherfuckers? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for the fucking class. How poor? How poor are we all willing to get? How much are we willing to pay at the fucking pump before we just start robbing millionaires? I don't know. It feels like now is about the time. Since I can't pay my electric bill, I can barely fucking afford to put fucking gas in my fucking tank. I can barely afford to put fucking groceries in my fucking house. A pack of fucking hot dogs is damn near fucking $12 at the grocery store. A pack of hot dogs is $12 at the grocery store. Do we even know what the fuck is in the hot dogs? No. Do we think it's worth $12? No. Can somebody please, I don't know, tell me when it's time? Thank you.
I promise you, the two places that I be seeing people looking so sad and so depressed lately have been the gas station and the grocery store. I don't know where you live at. Where I'm at, gas is $5.20 a gallon. That's for premium. I don't got no time to be doing no unnecessary trips nowadays. Doing unnecessary driving. Shit is too real out here.
Has anyone else hit the point of depression with this country? Like, I went and got gas today and it was $90. Any extra money I had for food is gone. Like, we knew that this administration didn't care about people, and it's really starting to show in everyone's everyday lives. Anyone with eyes and ears that connect to their brain knew that this was not going to be good. But here we are.
Yep. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. But all this is gonna lead to that chip implant, the mark of the beast. So seek the Lord by seeking His prompts and take heed of what to say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting of Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preach, keep on teach, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah, peace and bless to the hopeful elect. And all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Shalom.